Hello friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Joycey Joy and today we will be discussing about the SIT report on the 1984 anti-sikh riots. So the SIT is a special investigation team. So the special investigation team has submitted its report on the 1984 anti-sikh riots to the Supreme Court of India. So we will be discussing about this in detail in this lecture. Let us begin with the current affair. Now the current affair is that the special investigation team, that is the SIT, this team set up to probe on the 1984 anti-sikh riots handed over its report to the Supreme Court. So based on this we will be discussing the issue in detail. So this is the current affair. The report has been submitted to the Supreme Court. Now let us see what was the case all about. So the case was regarding the 1984 riots. So 1984 anti-sikh riots broke out after the assassination of Indira Gandhi, who was the former Prime Minister of India. So in 1984, she was the Prime Minister of India. The then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was assassinated, and the assassination was done by her guards who were Sikhs. So the anti-sikh riots broke out after this incident. So 3,325 people from the Sikh community, including 2,733 in Delhi alone, Sikhs living in Delhi alone, were killed in the riot. And some senior politicians and many of the senior politicians from the Congress political party, were accused of inciting violence and also stirring up the tensions. So this was the case. So the case is related to 1984 anti-sikh riots. Now before moving on, let us have a look at the quick facts related to the anti-sikh riots. So the quick facts regarding Indira Gandhi's assassination. Indira Gandhi was killed at her residence in Safdarjung Road in New Delhi, and this was done while she was on her way to be interviewed by a British channel. And the assassination of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, it is considered to be a consequence of the Operation Blue Star. Very, very important for your UPSC exams. So Operation Blue Star was in Amritsar. So this was a military operation ordered by Indira Gandhi to take control of the Harmandir Sahib complex in Amritsar. And this assassination was a consequence of Operation Blue Star. It is considered so. And again, the assassination, this was carried out by two of her bodyguards, and Satwan Singh and Bian Singh, and they fired 33 bullets at her. And later Indira Gandhi was taken to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, the AIIMS, but unfortunately she was dead by the afternoon. And after her assassination, after she was killed, within minutes there were widespread protest and violence all around. And after she was killed, the anti-sikh riots took place on the 1st of November 1984, and it killed more than 3,000 Sikhs. Almost 3,325 Sikhs were killed. So these are the important facts about the Indira Gandhi assassination, and which was followed by the 1984 Sikh riots. Now let us come back to our topic. Let us see how did the present SIT, the Special Investigation Team, how did it come up. So earlier, another SIT, another Special Investigation Team, had earlier scrutinized 293 cases, and out of this 293 cases, 199 of them were closed. That is, 199 cases were closed by the team. A two-member team of retired Apex Court judges, the Supreme Court retired judges, scrutinized this 199 cases along with 42 other matters that had been closed earlier. And the supervisory committee gave its views on this 241 cases, that is 199 plus this 42 other cases. So supervisory committee had given its views on this 241 cases, and the bench headed by the then Chief Justice of India, the then CJI Deepak Mishra, was informed that 186 cases merited further investigation. So the CJI was informed that 186 cases needs further investigation. So after this, a fresh 3-member team was constituted, and this 3-member team was headed by retired High Court Justice of Delhi, S.N. Dhingra. So this team was constituted in 2018 January, So this 3-member team has been constituted on the direction of a 3-judge bench in the month of January 2018. So this 3-member team was asked to examine 186 cases. And this came upon a petition filed by a riot victim, Gurlat Singh Kalon. So this is how the SIT, the Special Investigation Team, came into being. Now about the present report. So this present report has been handed over to the Supreme Court by the SIT, Special Investigation Team. So the SIT had taken up the probe into the cases on 1984 riots, and this case was already closed by the police. So this 1984 riots, it was closed by the police. And on completion of the investigation, the report was handed over in a sealed cover to the Supreme Court of India. And it also requested the court that the team be discharged. And now the Supreme Court has taken the report on record and adjourned the case for 2 weeks. So the case has been adjourned for another 2 more weeks. So Supreme Court has already taken the report on record. Now let us come to the earlier developments in this case. In the month of November 2018, 2 men were convicted of murder, and one of them, out of these 2 men, they were sentenced to death and the other one to life imprisonment. So in December 2018, again the Delhi High Court had convicted the former Congress MP Sajjan Kumar for his role in this riots. So this was in 2018 in the month of December. So former MP Sajjan Kumar was convicted by the Delhi High Court for his role played in this riot. And Sajjan Kumar, he was sentenced to life imprisonment. And earlier he was acquitted by a trial court. Almost 5 years earlier he was acquitted by a trial court. Now the Delhi High Court has convicted him for life imprisonment, and now his case is pending in the Supreme Court. So this is the present status of Sajjan Kumar's case. So these are the earlier developments in this case, and also this is a 35-year-long case. So the riots were in the year 1984. Now it's been almost 35 years. So this is a 35-year-long case. And in these 35 years, what we have observed is that this case was not taken seriously, or the investigation into this case was largely a failure. This was due to many factors. One reason was the high political influence, the influence of the political parties on this case. Also because of hurried investigation. So investigation was not efficient, and also the prosecution was also not up to the mark. So these were all the reasons why the case was a failure all these last 35 years. And when we talk about other cases, the country has seen other large-scale riots as well after 1984. But in most of the cases after 1984, most of the riots, they have these riots has been taken into the courts, and substantive justice have been ensured. But this was not the case with the 1984 riots. With regard to 1984 riots, the delivery of justice was not proper because of so many factors like the political influence, biased investigation, etc. So these are the earlier developments of this case. Now moving on, let us come to the significance. Now what is the significance of this report submitted by SIT? Now when we talk about communal riots, it is not very easy to secure convictions in instances of communal riots and also sectarian violence. This is more challenging when thousands of offenders are gripped by mob. So especially when we talk about a mob violence or mob lynching, it is very difficult to ensure justice or to convict the offenders. The reason is that a large number of people are involved, and it is very difficult to find out the offenders. And especially when we talk about the 1985 riots, especially in 1984, there was little effort in the early days to bring justice. This was because of the high political influence. So you have to remember here that the assassination was of that of the former prime minister or the then prime minister. So the political influence, in order to delay the justice, it was too high. So there was high level of political influence, and also the offenders, most of the accused were from these political parties, and they were senior politicians as well. So it was very difficult to execute justice in the case. So given this situation, the present report of the SIT, Special Investigation Team report on the 1984 riots, it has paved way for reopening of the case. So this will lead to reopening of the case. And it is also significant in the sense that this report given by the SIT to the Supreme Court, this will act as a key in ensuring that the country's poor record in serving justice will be corrected. And another significance here is to reconsider the Delhi High Court suggestions in this regard. So Delhi High Court suggestions in its verdict on Sajjan Kumar, the suggestion was that there could be separate legislation to deal with mass murders that amount to genocide or crimes against humanity. So the Delhi High Court has suggested that there should be a separate legislation, a separate law in order to deal with such mass murders like mob lynching or communal violence, etc. So this suggestion has to be taken forward, and this is a very, very important recommendation. Even when you are writing an answer, you can mention this as a recommendation of the Delhi High Court. So very, very important. So this recommendation should be taken ahead. Now let us discuss a mains model question. The question is, it is often said that justice delayed is justice denied. Why do Indian courts take so long time to deliver justice? So the question is talking about the pendency of cases in the Indian judiciary. And do you agree that Indian justice system is too slow, too complex and too costly? Critically analyze. So this is the question. So you have to critically analyze this issue. So here the question primarily focuses on the pendency of cases with the Indian judiciary. Now a very recent example, the example of the Hyderabad encounter, where the police officer encountered and murdered 4 accused in the rape case of the 27-year-old veterinary doctor. So this is a topic that the nation has widely discussed about. So what we need to conclude from this is that if you feel that the system is broken, or if there are certain issues with the system, you need to fix it. You cannot take justice in your you cannot take justice in your hands. So from that perspective, you need to answer this question. So you need to discuss about the issue of pendency in the Indian courts, and also you should discuss the measures and ways by which the problems in the system can be fixed properly. So it is an expected question in your mains examination, especially because there are increasing number of incidents where justice has been delayed and not duly delivered. So from that perspective, a very, very important question and also a probable question for your mains examination. Now you can find the PDF of this lecture on our website www.studyiq.com. You can also follow my Facebook page for more video updates. You can write to me at joycey.studyiq@gmail.com for any of your queries and clarification. Thank you.